everyone. I'm Mark from Creative Stamping with Mark. Today we are going to do a simple layout that can be used for any kind of card. I am making a Christmas card today, which I will share with you a sample that I made in my class on Saturday, and I will share the Stampin' Up! News with you. Okay, let's go down to my desk. Right, so you can see on my desk I have a new flyer. Stampin' Up! Is offering another craft class online called Brushed with Beauty. This suite will be available November the 4th. It is available for pre-order now with if you're a demonstrator, or if you join Stampin' Up! Before the end of the month, you could get this. The class is November the 20th at 2 p.m. online, and it will be $41. And they stay, if you pay for the class, it's recorded so you can access it, I think, forever as far as I can see. So it will be very similar to the class that they had, that Traditions of Christmas. So they've already held this class. It was held October 23rd, but it's still recorded and you can still purchase it. All right, so that's the new one, Brushed with Beauty. All right, I'll put that to the side. Worth investigating anyway. They still have the Advent calendar, 12 Days of Crafting Advent calendar. If you're interested in that, like I said, it makes a really nice gift, has 12 doors, comes with a stamp set, and it isn't exclusively Christmas, but all the things in the Advent calendar go together. So that's an interesting item. It is, you can find it on the online store. The number is 167335 and the price is $136. That is still available. All right. This is the new paper pumpkin wrapped in cheer. Needs to subscribe by November the 10th. It is making handmade treat boxes, and they have tags with them. So just obviously a stamp set. Your ink spot is Mossy Meadow, but it looks like it's got some red dot embellishments, linen thread. Makes 8 projects. So tags and boxes. All right. And the die add-ons are called the Abundant Joy dies. 167855, 1650. If you want to purchase those, they have the word joy in them. There's a tag and some flowers and leaves. All right, so that's by November the 10th to get in on that paper pumpkin. And we are still running the Join Special. This runs just a few more days till the 31st of October. So you can join Stampin' Up!, choose $165 worth of product, only paying $48. You will get some business supplies included in that, catalogs and postcards, but you don't have to make a business of it if you just want the discount. Every subsequent order after your initial join order, you will get a discount. You can also, if you have a large wish list, you can choose $252 worth of product and pay $135. So it's the best deal. So that ends on October 31st. So if you're interested in that, you need to get on it. Okay, today I am using Seasons of Elegance paper, which is in the annual catalog, and it is, sorry, I've got the whole package here. I am using the red, and I know there'll be quite a bit of glare because it's got the gold foil on it, but it's this package that has gold, red, green, pretty peacock, and basic beige pieces in it. I've used a lot of it. It was introduced last year in one of the mini catalogs, and now it is in our annual catalog. So I've chosen the red piece today to make my card with, and it reverses over to this. So there's no gold on this side. Just looks like painting, oil painting. All right, so that's what I'm using for the card today. You will need a card base, and I've chosen Cherry Cobbler. Real red or Cherry Cobbler go with this red one. So it's just our traditional 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4.25. It's going to open like a traditional card that way. I also have another piece of the cardstock, and it is, I'm looking at this thinking that's not right, but it is. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I've embossed it with the plaster painting embossing folder, which is on the last chance list, and I checked and it's still there. So that's a big 3D folder. So I've embossed this piece, and it really is a deep embossing folder. Very nice. So we've got that. You are going to need a white layer for your inside, and mine is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, just a small layer. You will need some kind of a label. I'm using the Stylish Shapes, the largest circle. That's these dies, the largest circle. So I've chosen that for my greeting on the outside. A piece of DSP. Here's our DSP, and I just cut a piece of that red. This piece is 2 3/4 by 5 3/8. And then there can be a full layer behind. So if there was a layer behind this, it would be 3 by 5 3/8. But I'm using gold foil. So I didn't want a full layer because that's kind of a waste of your foil. So I've just cut 2 strips. Not certain I'm using both strips, but we'll see. So those are just 1/2-inch strips by 5 3/8. Okay, ribbon and embellishments, we'll talk about that at the end. I will mention that I didn't have any of our gold foil that's current. So this is the brushed gold foil, which was on the clearance rack, and I still have some. So I'm just going to substitute that today. All right, so the stamp set I'm using is Joyful Tidings. It's a beautiful set with these stamped wreaths, half wreaths, whatever you want to call them. Very nice when they stamp. And I actually embossed mine, so I'll show you that. And I think we can get started. All right, so putting this together very simply. This embossed piece fits on here, just center it on the front, and then we'll attach our other pieces. So I am going to use my Tombow liquid glue, and I hope it will run easily this morning. Wow, there it is, good. So I'm just going to attach this to the front. Now remembering, this does take a fair bit of glue because it is embossed and it is deep embossed, so you don't want it to pop up on you. So you can also use tear and tape or your Stampin' Seal. So very minimal border on here. And I like the tone on tone, the same color. Sorry, I got a little glue on there. You can see that sneaking out of there. It's all right. Okay, so that's our front. Then I want to, like I said, you could have the full gold piece behind this, but I didn't want to waste my gold foil. So I am going to just attach, I'm going to attach one just on the left side and then decide if I want the second one. It's a lot of gold, so I just wasn't sure about it. So I am putting my Tombow on the DSP only because if you get the liquid glue on your foil, it tends to stay there and you can't get it off. So I'm just carefully going to put this down, and I can always trim. I see it's sticking off the top there, so that's okay. I can always trim it. Just make sure it's straight when you put it down. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so I've got it on the one side. I'm just putting it on the one side for now because I'm just not sure about it. I am going to trim off this little bit that's sticking out the top. Just a little sliver like that, okay? If I can get it off my mat, I don't want it on anything else. So there's my strip down the side. And then I'm going to decide where I want to place this. Closer to the left side, leaving room over here. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking for my greeting. Now my greeting I stamped with Peace, Hope, and joy, and this wreath, and I embossed it. This wreath, and I embossed it in gold. The peace, hope, and joy is done in cherry cobbler. Now, my thought was, being that this is fairly busy and gold, I think I'll have this up here. And because this is so big, you had to use the largest stylish shape circle in order to get that wreath to fit. But I'm thinking I might just offset it and cut my circle off. What do you think? I think I'm going to give it a go. So I want my, I'm not centering this piece. I'm going to put it closer to the left side. And see how I like this. So I'm thinking I'm just going to place it like that. Just leaving another 1/2 inch maybe there. Just like that. Good. So you can see that this edge, the designer series paper is the same size as your embossed layer. So you can still see a little bit of your card base there. Okay. So I've got that. Now I'm thinking if I put this up on dimensionals and I take it right to where the wreath ends and then cut it off. I hope it'll look all right. We'll give it a go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. All right, so I'm looking at just putting dimensionals where my embossing kind of is, like that. I think that should be okay. I just don't want to, okay. And here, I'll use a few because this circle is fairly large and I don't like it to sag. Okay, we're going to take our dimensionals off. The backs here, and should be set to go. Okay, I am going to put this, and I think I will just open it like this. Not that that really matters, but I just really wanted to see this. And put it down. I have to have the peace, hope, and joy straight. And I think I'll put it right there. And make sure that none of my dimensionals are showing here. And I'm going to take this and we're going to cut it off and see what we think. Like that. Okay, here's the big reveal. Okay, well, I think that looks okay. It's an interesting. You don't have to do that if you didn't want to. And I'm glad I didn't put this extra piece of gold on because I just think that would have been a lot with all of this happening. So I'll keep that. I may use it in the inside. So there's the front, and I don't know that we need a lot of anything on the front. There is a lot going on here. Okay, I'm going to open this up. I have already heat embossed just the edge of that same wreath. I just took this part of it and just used the Versamark and put it just on the corner there, and I really like that. No, I think I want it this way. So I thought that could go in there, and I wondered if I wanted this piece of gold strip, seeing I've got it cut anyway, and put it in here like that. I think that would really liven this up, so let's do that. It is much longer, as you can see, but I will just trim it off when we're done. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue along here, like I did on the designer series paper on the front, and just about a 1/2 inch sticking out. Not 1/2 inch, sorry. That is a 1/2 inch strip, so 1/4 of it sticking out. I see I've got a little glue gushing out there. Okay, and I will just trim this off right at the bottom, like that. There we go. And then put that in there. I think that looks really nice. I haven't got any words in here, and I was going to stamp, it says peace, hope, and joy. The other greetings are tidings of joy this Christmas season. I thought, I don't know if I like that. This one says, may the wonder and magic of Christmas fill you with delight. Maybe we'll use that one. And I should have stamped it first. That's always my rule before I stick something in. So I will do that now. we will use cherry cobbler. And there we go. There's my cherry cobbler. I wasn't planning on doing this, and then I'm thinking, why am I not finishing this card properly? Okay, and open my cherry cobbler up. I just re-inked this. I wasn't very happy with my cherry cobbler ink pad. I've actually ordered a new one because I just wasn't very happy with it. Now I did re-ink it, and I will take a scrap paper here and just stamp it to see how it stamps, because that looks okay. I just got to be careful. I've got a lot on the top there, it seems. Always like to look at my stamp there. I think it looks okay, so we will just stamp it. And I think I'm just going to stamp it right underneath here. Hope I'm straight. Not too bad. May the wonder and magic of Christmas fill you with delight. Okay, and put that in the inside. And we just have to decide if we want any bling on the front, anything extra. So this layout can be used for any kind of card. So like I said, it's a embossed layer, and then another layer behind your DSP, and that's it. And you can place that anywhere you want on here, and it looks nice. So okay, there's our card. Very, very gold. I will say it's very, very gold. So that's one of the things about it. Now, I did bring in this ribbon. This is the gold striped ribbon. This is an online. I think it went with the Cheers and Sips suite. It's very pretty, but I thought, you know, there's a lot of gold going on here, and I just didn't know if I liked it. So I put it to the side. I did go into my retired stash, and last year we had cherry cobbler and gold ribbon, which is perfect for this. But again, I just didn't know if I wanted something on here. I thought I could tie a bow. Let's just see if I can quickly tie a bow and see if I like it, and kind of put it on the wreath maybe. I just don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a fairly small bow here. I think too big. Okay, like that. You know, you could put something like that on the, I just think it kind of takes away from everything. I don't know. I could have put it like that. I don't know. Sorry. Froggy throat this morning. Okay. I just think there's a lot going on here. I'm going to move this out of the way too. Now, I also brought in, I didn't have any current gold gems, so I brought in, this sounds funny, strawberry slush and pretty and pink gems, but on the bottom of them, I don't know if you can see this or not, there's clear ones. Like, I'd say those are the strawberry slush, pretty and pink, and then they don't really identify those, but they're have a gold. So I thought those might be nice. So they're not too gold, so I thought, oh, maybe that would work. I think I will use those instead of the ribbon, because I just think the ribbon is a bit too much. So we have two sizes in these. So I'm going to take one, and because this is on dimensionals, I don't know that I want, I think maybe I will put them up here. And they kind of, actually, they kind of disappear on the red, but oh well, that's okay. I thought maybe they would just, maybe I will put one right there. You can see them, but they're clear and they just have a little gold in them. So they don't add a lot, but there's a little bit of something there. If you had some other embellishment in gold, that might look a bit better. I'm not sure. but that's your choice. Okay, so there's our card for today. Quick and easy. Good layout for anything. You can use any kind of greeting. I will show you the card that we made in class on Saturday. It is using retired product, but same layout. The card is exactly the same with the embossed layer. Now, I did have a layer of the blueberry bushel underneath there, so that layer is 3 by 5 3/8, and then your DSP on top, 2 3/4 by 5 3/8. So that is a full blueberry bushel layer underneath. There's my label, and that's an old label, but from a retired set. And we just used the ribbon that way and opened it, and in the inside I just had just the paper, just the white. So same layout, but different, as you can tell. Turns out quite different, and yet looks good. Again, it could be a layout that's laid this way. You know, you could lay it this way, no problem. So lots of options with this one, and I thought it's easy. Uses a strip of paper that, you know, piece of DSP to show off, and then some kind of, like I did use some die cuts here. We could have used some die cuts on this one, some kind of foliage, but I think this one kind of is beautiful just the way it is. So that is a very nice card. All right, so those are the cards to see today, and using the Joyful Tidings, which is in the mini catalog. All right, I sure appreciate all your thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any Wednesday videos. I try to keep you up on the Stampin' Up! News every Wednesday. The dimensions will all be underneath the video, and I hope to see you next week.